Hello and welcome to the Karan Conroy Show, where I talk about the cutting edge science of health and well-being, and I teach you how to build it into your life every single day so you can live a life that is happy, healthy, and thriving. All right, let's go. So today we're going to talk about gut health. Now, I'm not going to talk about diet, and there's a very simple reason for that. Here we have sauerkraut. Now, sauerkraut is like a fermented cabbage from Germany, and it's packed full of salt. And so the people from that part of the world, or if they have ancestry from that part of the world, their bodies are used to having a lot of salt in their diet. So when they sweat, for example, they excrete or they can remove salt from their body. Whereas these guys traditionally do not have a lot of salt in their diet. So their bodies have evolved to hold on to salt. All right. So when they sweat, for example, they don't get rid of as much salt as people from Germany and the Scandinavian region. Again, because people from that region have a lot of salt in their diet, and people from this part of the world, not so much. So whenever it comes to diet, it's important to find out what works for you. And you do have to try. It does take a bit of trial and error, right? You just give things a go. That's absolutely fine. I'm not a massive fan of diet fads where you try something for 8 weeks and you eat in an extreme fashion, or you remove a large number of things from your diet for a short amount of time. And that may be so you look good for a wedding or a photo shoot or whatever it may be. I would more advocate and support something that you can build into your life every single day. All right, so for me, diet is about something you can do long term, more or less for the rest of your life. If you can't do it for the rest of your life, I don't think you should be doing it now. But that's my view, that's my opinion. So when it comes to diet, I just want to say it's really important that you find out what works for you. All right, so let's get into it. Gut health part 1. In your gut, you have 300 million neurons, 300 million nerve cells. Now, those nerve cells make up your brain, make up your nervous system. You have 300 million in your gut. Now, I have heard as low as 100 million. I have heard as high as 500 million, but we'll shoot straight down the middle. We'll sit with 300 million. Now, that's the same as a cat has in their entire brain. So we have all owned a cat. And when I say owned a cat, I say that loosely. We've either all owned a cat or know someone who has. But the reality is the cat owns us. The cat comes in whenever they want, has a moan by meowing at us. We feed it, and the cat goes out and does whatever it wants. And at night, the cat goes out and does adult cat things and then comes home. This cat is an independent organism. And you have one of those in your gut regulating how you break down your food. And your gut and your brain are in constant communication via this thing called the vagus nerve. Now, the gut is the first part of your body to really interact with the outside world. Okay, your eyes see light, your ear detects sound, but the first time your body interacts with the outside world is often through your food. Other than maybe a little cut and you might get an infection, most of your body's interaction with the outside world is from your food. And so you've got 300 million neurons in there as a part of that detection process. And your gut senses the environment in its own way and sends signals to the brain, and your brain sends signals back and forward between the two. Now, here are some quotes I want to share with you. The gut and the brain are closely linked through bidirectional signaling pathways that includes nerves, hormones, and inflammatory molecules. Bidirectional signaling pathways. It goes both ways, all right? Your gut communicates to your brain, just like your brain communicates to your gut. Really important. Rich sensory information generated in the gut reaches the brain. And this is what we call gut sensations. And the brain sends signals back to the gut to adjust its function. This is what we call gut reactions. The close interaction of these pathways play a crucial role in the generation of emotions and an optimal gut function. The two are intricately linked. This is from Dr. Imran Mayer, who wrote The Gut-Mind Connection. Your gut and your brain are intricately linked, and this is why it is called your second brain. I would go ahead and argue you've got three. You have about 40,000 neurons in your heart as well, but you've got billions in your head, hundreds of millions in your gut. Clearly your first and second brain, which is why it's so important to look after your gut health. You're looking after your second brain. And as I said, your second brain communicates to your first brain back and forth via the vagus nerve. Now, the vagus nerve is like the mega highway of your nervous system. It sends signals up and down the body, and it has a number of different functions. And then the vagus nerve, is connected to every organ in your body. It is literally the mega highway of your nervous system. All right. So I want you to take a quick moment and to write down 5 things that you're curious about and you want to learn more about. So take a quick 5 to write down 5 things you're curious about, you want to learn more about. It could be about diet, it can be about gut health. I really just want to stimulate that curiosity. Do that now. Okay, now let's launch into gut health part 2. And this is all about your microbiota. So, what is your microbiota? You have 100 trillion bacteria in your gut. Specifically, the majority of them live in your ascending colon, the part of your large intestine that goes up. And you have 100 trillion bacteria living inside your gut. That's a massive number. It would take you about 3.9 million years to count that high. Okay? So, for example, you have more bacteria in your gut than we have stars in our galaxy. You have more bacteria in your gut than we have galaxies in the universe. Now, some people have said we are half human, half bacteria. Some people said we're actually the majority bacteria. And I've even read every time you go to the bathroom and take a poo, that shifts the balance between human and bacteria cells in your body. But the reality is, you aren't Jane, you aren't John, you aren't Hone, you aren't Renee. You are this network of organisms, this community of organisms. And it's important for the entire community to be happy and healthy. Not just one, not just you. Right, so what does your microbiome do? So it protects the gut from dangerous invaders. It synthesizes new vitamins. It literally creates vitamins for you. It breaks down fiber. So this is in fruit and veggies that we can't break down ourselves, but your gut biome, your gut bacteria can. It helps you regulate body weight. There's literally a strain of gut bacteria that when you have a healthy number of them, that is associated or correlated with being trimmer. It regulates our entire immune system. Our immune system starts in our gut. Is a good way to think of the important role our gut has in our immune system. It produces a wide range of hormones and chemicals. It impacts our mood, appetite, and general health. This is all from the bacteria in our gut. Now, scientists are still working hard to discover the true nature of this bacteria and what it means for our health and our happiness. But the science is clear. The health of our microbiome, the health of our bacteria in our gut play an essential role in our happiness and our health. How is a very important question, and it's all about metabolites. Now, metabolites is a fancy way of saying poo. The bacteria poo that they produce when they break down their foods. Now, this poo is the exact same chemical as the different neurotransmitters your very own body uses to send signals from your brain around your body. Not similar. The metabolites, the poo of the bacteria, aren't similar to the chemicals your own body uses to send to communicate around your body. They are exactly the same. So, when we have unhealthy microbiome in our gut, as in any environment, there are pathogens or opportunistic bacteria or viruses or fungus or humans or cats or animals. Right? In this instance, we're looking at bacteria. There are unhealthy ones, okay? And you feed them with chemicals and sugar. Now, sugar is straightforward. We all have probably too much sugar in our diet and we could afford to remove some. But when I say chemicals, what I want you to do is grab something that you regularly eat. Could be a packet of chips, could be some muesli bars, whatever it may be, and just have a look at the ingredients. If there's something in there that just doesn't sound like food, that's what I mean when I talk about chemicals, all right? So, sugar and chemicals in particular feed this unhealthy microbiome. And the unhealthy microbiome, their poo would release neurotransmitters that would result or are associated with or correlated with ill health or dis-ease. All right? So these are the things we want to avoid. Now, how do we foster a healthy microbiome? So the first thing I want to talk about is probiotics. Now, you would have all heard of these. These are foods that have supplementary bacteria in them to help keep that 100 trillion bacteria in your gut sort of topped up, happy and healthy. So things like yogurt, obviously organic yogurt would be great. Dairy-free would be great as well. Kefir, kombucha, sauerkraut, which we've already talked about. Kimchi, natto, tempeh. All foods rich in probiotics. Fermented olives, cheese, kvass, miso, buttermilk, even pickles. These foods are rich in probiotics and are great for topping up your 100 trillion bacteria with healthy bacteria from your food to keep you living happy and healthy. Really simple things that you can add to your diet today. All right. The other thing I want to talk about are prebiotics. So think of prebiotics as the food for your 100 trillion bacteria. Think of it as fertilizer for the bacteria garden to grow. Now, these things feed all the good bacteria. Garlic, onions, leek, asparagus, bananas, particularly pre-ripe bananas. Barley, oats, apples, cocoa, flax seeds, extra virgin olive oil, seaweed, lentils, chickpeas, anything rich in fiber. Pretty much fruit and vegetables. If I were to list all the things, all the healthy prebiotics that you could include in your life, we would be here all day. So, the more of these things you can include in your life, the better. And what else is really important is the more diverse range of foods you have in your diet is really, really important. Scientists have proven again and again that diversity in your diet, which creates diversity in your microbiome, you have the 100 trillion bacteria are far more diverse. That means you're far healthier. They've proven that beyond a doubt. Now, the mechanism that underlies that, scientists aren't quite sure yet. They aren't quite sure why a diverse range of bacteria in your gut is better for your happiness and for your health. But they do know a more diverse diet is better. Absolutely. All right. Now, the one thing you can implement in your life today is peppermint tea. Now, peppermint tea is a powerful anti-inflammatory agent. That means it kills inflammation in your body, and a lot of inflammation comes from our diet. If we have processed foods, sugary foods, fried foods, a lot of meat, even some fruits and vegetables are pro-inflammatory. Now, inflammation, a little bit of it isn't bad. A lot of it definitely is. And so after we eat, we can often have an increase in inflammation in our body, and our peppermint tea helps put that inflammatory fire out. Now, peppermint tea is also brilliant in helping aid digestion. It helps soothe your stomach and helps improve digestion. There's also evidence to suggest that it helps with the GI, the glycemic index of your food. So it helps you release the energy of your food a little better. Now, peppermint tea, again, if there's one thing you should add to your diet, it should be peppermint tea. I drink a peppermint tea after every major meal. After the big meals I have a peppermint tea. Again, it's all about looking after the 100 trillion bacteria and the 300 million neurons in my gut. All right. Now remember, it's essential to find out what works for you. Find out the fruits and vegetables that you really like, and incorporate more of them in a wider range in your diet as often as you can. Now, why does this all work? Why does peppermint tea make you feel so good for those who have implemented it and tried it? Why is focusing on prebiotics, feeding your 100 trillion bacteria, so powerful? The first thing I want to introduce you to is Megan Rossi here. She's a dietitian, and her research has shown her that people with 30 plant-based elements in their diet have better mental health. 30 plant-based elements. Now, a plant-based element is just any new plant in your diet. So a great way to increase that is to maybe get a bag of mixed seeds with a whole range of different seeds and sprinkle it into your cereal in the morning. Each new seed is like a new plant element. When you have a salad, instead of getting the baby spinach or the lettuce, you get the mixed salad bag, which has a range of different salad types in there. Again, there you've increased the number of plant elements in your diet. Small things like that you can do to increase the number of plant elements in your diet. If you get pizza, for example, you don't even have to get the vegetarian pizza. But if you did, you'll be introducing more plant elements into your diet. But add the olives, add the garlic, add these extra plant elements into your diet because it's proven to improve your mental health. Simple as that. Now, why does things like peppermint tea and probiotics and focusing on prebiotics, focusing on fruit and vegetables and high in fiber foods, why does that make you feel so good? Why is it so good for you? I believe we're just ahead of the curve. Here's an article from the New Scientist called The Psychobiotic Revolution. And here's a book literally called The Psychobiotic Revolution. And it talks about the fact that one day, maybe we will be able to treat anxiety, depression, other mental disorders with a concoction of probiotics and maybe prebiotics. So we will be able to improve mental disorders by improving your gut bacteria, which we've already talked about, has a direct link to your brain. And the signals that come from your gut via your gut bacteria, via the 300 million neurons in your gut, up the vagus nerve into your brain, those signals register at the subconscious level, below the level of that little voice in your head, which makes up about 5% of the brain. The remaining 95 sits below the level of consciousness. Now, these signals received from your gut, from your 100 trillion bacteria, from your 300 million neurons, these signals register below the conscious level. So you can't physically be aware of them, but you can physically notice the difference in how you feel when you eat healthy, when you eat well. And so again, I want to get back to the main point. Why does this work? The reason I believe it works is because we're just ahead of the curve. I believe in our lifetime, we will see this revolution of psychobiotics, of using probiotics, of using prebiotics, of changing people's diet as a primary mechanism to tackle some of the psychological disorders we're facing in society today. But only time will tell if I'm right or not. But this is why I think it's so important. This is why I think it works so well. Okay, now, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I don't want you to go out there and change your diet and just eat vegetables tomorrow. okay? Because it's not sustainable. But what I want you to do is focus on one thing you can do to improve the health of your gut bacteria, to improve the health of your gut overall. Just one thing. It might be adding another vegetable into your diet. It might be sprinkling seeds onto your breakfast, whatever it may be. What's one thing you can do to improve your diet today? Now, before I leave you, I've got some free information for you. And these are teas. So peppermint tea is so powerful. It's literally a fan favorite. So I've put this little bit of content together around teas. Now, this isn't comprehensive by any means, but I'm going to share some of my favorites with you now. The first is green tea. Green tea contains polyphenols, which are powerful anti-inflammatory compounds that helps improve brain function with caffeine, and L-theanine is a key ingredient in maintaining high-performing brain function. It helps burn fat, improves insulin sensitivity if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic or just insulin sensitive, plus other significant health benefits. Powerful herbal tea, green tea, really, really simple. I challenge you to replace your afternoon coffee with an afternoon green tea. The next is chamomile tea. Chamomile tea reduces menstrual pain as well as the associated stress and anxiety. It can help lower blood sugar, helps promote bone density, reduces inflammation, and helps with sleep. For me, inflammation is something we really, really need to get control in our lives. It comes from our diet, comes from stress, comes from exercise. All right, and a little bit of inflammation is useful to fight off infections and to heal injuries, but chronic inflammation is terrible for you. And so a tea like chamomile tea at the end of the day to help kill that inflammation, to help improve sleep, improve bone density is a absolute winner for me. So chamomile tea, a brilliant tea you can incorporate into your life today. Next is lemongrass tea, which helps relieve anxiety, lower cholesterol, prevents infection, helps relieve pain. It boosts red blood cells and helps relieve bloating. Lemongrass tea in the afternoon is something I use for a caffeine-free pick-me-up, and that's why I've shared it with you today. All right, now some other teas that I want to share with you are mushroom teas. Now, the first is the lion's mane extract. Now, this boosts nerve growth factor and myelin, critical in brain health, but it's critical in nervous system health. So this boosts your ability to grow your nerves. It promotes neurogenesis. You can grow new nerve cells, and this mushroom extract, lion's mane mushroom, helps with that. Next is chaga mushroom. It's a powerful antioxidant. It is a powerful anti-inflammatory and reduces cholesterol. Really, really powerful in boosting your immune system. A chaga tea is something that you can incorporate into your life today and is brilliant for you. The next is reishi. It eases depression and anxiety, improves sleep, sharpens your focus. Really powerful tool. And the last is the cordyceps mushrooms. This is like nature's pre-workout. You can take this for energy. It's been proven to improve athletic performance and muscle recovery. And it's natural, free of caffeine, any sugars and chemicals. It's all natural and has been proven to improve your athletic performance. All right, so these are some mushroom teas that you can incorporate into your diet. All right. Now, the one thing I will say about diet is this dieting method of fasting has proven to work again and again and again. It has stood the test of time. People have been fasting for thousands of years. And the most important thing is it's absolutely free. But more importantly, find a fasting technique, find a fasting method, find a fasting style that works for you. It could be having a compressed eating window, 7 days a week. You only eat between 12 and 8. It could be 1 day a week you don't eat. So you go for a 24-hour fast. It could be on Sundays, for example. The last meal you have is Saturday night. You don't eat again until Sunday night. Whatever fasting technique, whatever fasting method is best for you will work for you. Now, what happens when your body fasts? The long and short of it is, when you're not eating, you're healing. So if you're eating, you're growing. If you're growing, you're not healing. Now, when your body stops taking in nutrients, your body says, okay, cool, we don't have a lot of nutrients coming in now. It's time to clean house. All right, this is the time when your body cleans up and sort of maintains and looks after itself. And when we start eating, your body's saying, okay, we're getting nutrients coming in. This is the time to grow. And again, I really want to emphasize the importance of you finding a fasting method that works for you. Fasting, a tried and tested diet that has stood the test of time, and find a fasting strategy or technique that'll work for you. All right, before I let you go, what I want you to do is write down 5 things you're going to tell 5 friends about gut health, about your 300 million neurons, about your second brain, about the 100 trillion bacteria you have in your gut, about that, how to avoid feeding the unhealthy bacteria, how to feed the healthy bacteria, the T's that you can implement in your life that have been proven to improve your health and well-being. 5 things you're going to tell 5 friends. And with that, I thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being with me here today. I hope you've got some value out of today. If you have, please let me know. And remember, 5 things you're going to tell 5 friends. And until next time, here's to living happy, healthy, and thriving.